Thank you. So, as John said, Apps for Good. If you don't know us, our mission is to grow a generation of problem solvers and digital makers, and diversity is really at the heart of what we do with that mission. I've been working in this space for about 6 years now. I've been up and down the country to the most northern point of Scotland, to inner city Birmingham, to rural Cornwall. I've worked with 8-year-olds, 18-year-olds from different backgrounds, different genders, and the talent is there, the potential is there, and there are teachers out there who are so motivated and so passionate and aware of the digital industries that want to do something. So that's the good news. The bad news is that sometimes the conditions, the environment for that potential to be realised are not quite there. So I'm going to spend the next 10 minutes or so just talking about some of my learnings from how we can set those conditions and how we can really develop young people leaving school who are aware of the digital world and comfortable working within the digital world. So I'm going to start by giving you some examples of some of the students we work with. This is a team called Cattle Manager. They are 14-year-olds from a place called Wick. If you don't know Wick, it is the tip of the country. You couldn't get further away from London. And they identified a problem. All their parents and family are farmers, and they used to have to run back and forth from their parents' tractor to go and fetch paperwork so they could manage their cattle. So they came up with an app to manage that process in a more efficient way. That app now has 50,000 downloads worldwide. It's actually solving a genuine problem in the farming community. We then have a team called I'm OK, 4 girls who wanted to create a safe online space for the LGBT community to share their stories. And in doing so, they'd hoped they would help young people like them who were perhaps struggling with coming to terms with their identity. And when they're not being tweeted by Richard Branson or receiving awards, they are out there sometimes shamelessly promoting their application. They are absolute amazing networkers, amazingly comfortable talking to the biggest people in industry, and one of our real success stories. And this is actually Mahima, who was on our very, very first program in 2010. Mahima is from Tower Hamlets, and she came up with an app called Transit, which is an English to Bengali translation app for parents and teachers to help communication between parents who English is not their first language and schools. Now, Mahima is now studying biomedical engineering at Imperial College, and she's one of our trustees as well. And she has also continued on developing her own applications. So those are some of our students. In the last 5 years, 50,000 students have done our course. Of those 50,000 students, 49% are girls. So 49% of girls have completed our course. We've worked with 1,000 schools, and those schools are all over the country. So not a London-centric program at all. In fact, our biggest hubs are in Manchester and in Scotland. And we've just gone international as well. So we're starting to work with schools in Portugal, in Spain, and the US. And in the last 5 years, 10,000 app prototypes have been produced by young people. So they are getting real kind of experience within an industry setting. So this is how we do it. We partner with schools. We provide teachers with training and support. We provide them with a course framework to follow. And then we have a platform that connects schools with industry volunteers. So these volunteers can spend an hour, they can spend a day mentoring students. The brilliant thing about it is it can all be done virtually. So it removes the need for having experts based in London and having only students based in London getting exposed to those career insights. Our students who do the course, they then join our fellows community. I'm going to talk a bit more about that later, but this is where we really fit in with Jonathan and Digital Futures, and this is why we've kind of developed a relationship. Once they have done the course, we want to create a community of opportunity for these young people. So anything from apprenticeships to work experience to funding for their ideas, that will all form part of this fellows community. One of our when we're talking to schools and we're talking to students who want to do the course, we think that STEM is not enough. So a lot of the debate in schools around the digital skills gap focuses on STEM, and we feel that you should get your students, students should get STEAMed, not in that way, but we think that the involvement of arts, entrepreneurship and design are incredibly important, because if you just focus on STEM, you're more than likely going to attract and enthuse the proto geeks, you know, the kids who spend their evenings coding in a basement, I'm told. But if you include arts, entrepreneurship and design, you're much likely to engage a wider audience of students. Now, there are 3 ingredients to Apps for Good. These are absolute, they cannot be changed, and there's some good reasons for them. So we actually get a lot of companies come up to us and offer us a lot of money and say, can you work with young people to solve a problem around X or Y, you know, whether it be energy or food waste as it was before. And we have to turn around and say, no, we have to, I get quite upset sometimes, we have to turn down quite a lot of money. But if you are telling students what to work on, you're not going to interest them. You know, for them to be engaged and to see the relevance, they need to work on something that matters to them. So every student who does an Apps for Good course owns their own learning journey. They're in the driving seat. They pick the problems they want to solve, they work in teams to solve those problems, and they are responsible for their own learning. We also try and take a different approach to coding and technology, again trying to make it relevant. They've all got, most students have smartphones or access to web browsers, they will use them for social reasons, they will use them for fun, but actually teaching them that the technology they have in their hands is a tool and can be used to improve their lives and improve other people's lives, really sort of brings it home for them. And then the final thing is real world context. We try and bring the latest thinking in the digital space to the students, and we try and make it real for them. So we say at the beginning of the course, you guys are now going to become business owners. You're coming up with your own product, you're going to launch it, you're going to market it. We cover everything from user experience design to marketing to pitching. We try and give them as much of a real world experience as possible. And one of the ways we do bring industry closer to the students is we have an army of industry expert volunteers. They have either signed up individually or they've come as part of a company. And these volunteers not only give the students exposure to different careers, but they also mentor the students on their own products and their own ideas. And what it does, it also frees the teacher up to be a bit more of a facilitator, rather than having that burden of having to be the expert on an industry they've probably never worked in and is quite hard to keep up with. We plug you guys into the schools, and that really frees the teacher up to do what they're supposed to do, and that is facilitate learning. We also work with a number of corporate partners who are very generous, and they enable us to provide this course completely for free. But they also open up opportunities for the young people who go through the course. So what I've kind of learned over the last 5 years is if the conditions are right, age, gender, background, they're not barriers. They're not barriers at all, and I think we run an annual awards program every year where students get to come down to London. They will spend a morning with a tech company. In fact, Sapient Nitro has hosted quite a few of our teams. They then pitch their ideas to industry experts, and then they have an evening networking with people like you. And if you've ever seen an 8-year-old network, They've got business cards, relentless enthusiasm, and incredible ideas, and people are just blown away by them. You know, I'm terrible at networking, and I'm 28 years old. So and in those events, you know, 66% of our finalists last year were girls. They came from all over the country. They can do it. They just need to be given ownership of what they're doing, and it needs to be relevant. But apps aren't, you know, the outcome of creating your own app is not the main focus for us. There are a lot of softer skills that are developed throughout this process. You know, teamwork, communication, pitching, problem solving. Every student who's gone through Apps for Good has indicated that there's been an improvement in at least one of those areas. We've also we get really good responses from teachers, especially saying, my students have developed an incredible resilience. You know, at school, they're taught that you have to pass an exam, and if you haven't passed an exam, you've failed, and that's bad. This process that they go through, they are failing on a weekly basis. They are testing ideas, they're not working, and they're challenging themselves and cycling through that process that we all go through. And that resilience is a core kind of beneficial impact of the programme. We also have an impact on students' careers interest. I think we deal with students from 8 to 18. Not a lot of them really have thought about their careers before. And we've got some good kind of nearly half saying, as a result of this, they are interested or would consider a career within the digital space. So once they've done their course, we have just launched a fellowship community, and the purpose of that is to create deeper opportunities for the young people who want to take it further. So this community, we will be trying to find them work experience. We'll be trying to connect them with experts. They can get sort of more tailored learning. We want to try and encourage them to mentor other young people and kind of give back to the community. Here's some examples of just what we've done recently. We got some students into work experience at us too. We try and get them as many public speaking engagements as they want. Some of our students presented at We Day. We've been doing expert hangouts, so literally just getting an expert in user experience on Google Hangouts for an hour and inviting as many young people to go and speak to them. It's just little things like that can really spark interest amongst young people, and we will be working with Jonathan and any other sort of apprenticeship providers to ensure that our young people, if they want to, can go on to do apprenticeships. We are also celebrating our 5-year anniversary. So in a month or two, you maybe see us making a bit of a song and dance about it. Please do share if you feel that way inclined. But if you want to sign up as an expert and spend an hour, 2 hours working with a student team, the first one you do, you will be very, very scared. Most of our experts have not been in a classroom since they've been at school themselves, but as soon as the students start pitching their ideas and start talking with such enthusiasm and such passion for what they're doing, because they're doing something that they care about, our experts love it. And actually one of our biggest problem is finding enough expert sessions for our, all of our volunteers to do. So anyone can sign up. Please do at appsforgood.org/experts. If you want to get in touch about potential opportunities for some of our students from the fellowship community, then my contact details are there, and I'll be happy to speak to you at the break as well. Thank you very much.